So, getting outdoors in nature is extremely important. It does some really interesting things for our mind. But movement, even indoors, but even better when you're outdoors, has an additional benefit. So our brains were really designed, by some people's theories, first and foremost, because we move. And that's not just human brains, but any animal with a brain. There's a good theory that says that it was the organisms or life's need to, or complex life's need to move, that required a central nervous system. So there's a whole lot of things that happen when we move, walk, exercise, and especially when we do it outdoors in nature. And that is, our brain starts to produce all kinds of good responses to that movement. And this one thing called brain-derived brain-derived neurofactor, is an important molecule that we particularly, there's foods that we can eat and different things like that also help with BDNF. That's the acronym for, or the initials for brain-derived neurofactor. But anyhow, it helps with our brains to create more brain cells, and also it helps our brains fix itself, because it helps with the process of making new neuronal connections, and helps in the process of memory and working memory and all kinds of things. We also, when we're in nature, when we move, we also produce dopamine. Now, our bodies produce dopamine a lot. The problem with dopamine in the modern world is that we produce it for the wrong reasons very often. As a natural part of evolution or human existence, as dopamine was supposed to primarily be a thing that told us when we were doing something that was right and when we were doing something that wasn't right, like the right way to catch food or something along those lines. So now we got to be really careful not to get caught up in modern day habits like social media and other bad things that we can put into our bodies that stimulate dopamine in a way that it really doesn't help us. In other words, those things have tapped into that process of the brain producing dopamine, but it's not really teaching us to do anything good. So a good way to is like to think about dopamine is like if you're trying to learn a new dance routine, and you are successful with that and you're doing that, your body will give you a lot more dopamine, and it's telling you you're doing something right, so you'll keep learning to do that the right way. And that's very important. So I love you.